Sourcing rules and strategies. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you what is sourcing, and I'm also going to share with you some rules and strategies and help you implement those into your FBA business. It's something I wish someone would have taught me when I started this. So what are the objectives? We're going to talk about what is sourcing. When I keep saying this word sourcing, what does it actually mean? We're going to talk about how to decide when to purchase something, creating your own rules and not breaking them, what you do once you create those rules. And I'm going to give you some extra tools and resources that I think will help you in your FBA venture. So the first thing is you need to write down your plan. You got to remember this is a business. That's what I'm trying to teach you here. Is even though it's teaching on part-time, it's still your business. And every great business has a plan. And I suggest you have one too, and you should write it down. It's going to be included in homework number 2. It's going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you make better decisions when you're sourcing products. And so now let's walk through some of those exercises. But first, I want to talk about what is sourcing. When I say sourcing, I'm talking about buying products to sell on Amazon through a number of different strategies. And that's what's great about Amazon is there's no right or wrong way to create your business. There's just a bunch of different ways. Some people make a living selling just books. Other people utilize retail arbitrage. Some people like scouring garage sales and thrift stores for their business. And I'm going to walk through a number of those different strategies in the upcoming lectures. So you need a strategy. So what I want you to start thinking about is write down things you enjoy shopping for. So if you're a beauty expert, write that down. If you know a lot about clipping coupons and buying groceries, that should be something you should look at. Or maybe you like going to thrift stores. Whatever it is, think about what you like to buy and becoming an expert in those categories. Also, I think you need to think about diversifying. Personally, I sell toys, I sell health and beauty products, I sell groceries, and the more you diversify, the more bulletproof your business becomes. You also need to learn as much as you can. And you already took the first steps by purchasing my course, but there's a lot of other great courses out there. There's a lot of great blogs, and we'll get into some of those later, but you need to learn as much as possible. There's some books on Amazon that you can download. And finally, determine how much time you're going to allot to your business. For me, I don't want to spend any more than 4 hours a week on this. And I'm comfortable with that because 4 hours a week, typically it's not even that many, 16 hours a month, and I'm typically making well over $500. So first, how do you know when to buy something? Again, you're going to utilize the profit bandit. So familiarize yourself with this app. What I would do is once you download it is use the app at home and get used to it. Scan some things at home, scan books, scan toys, scan some boxes that you have lying around. And then also when you're out at stores, start testing it. Because the first time you go out to source products, it's going to feel awkward. You're going to be looking at products, scanning the barcodes. People are going to be looking at you. So just get used to scanning it and don't worry about it. This is probably one of the most important things you can do before you go out sourcing products. You're going to have to determine what are your minimum margins. Are you willing to take only a 5% minimum margin, or do you want 60, 70%? How much money do you want to make per transaction? How much competition are you willing to compete against? Do you want something that is going to fly off the shelves quick? Maybe you'll make a little less margin, or do you want something that's more long-tailed where you're going to make a 70, 80% margin, but it may take 2 to 3 months to sell? You also have to determine what is your minimum sales rank. Here's some things to note. Sales ranking. I've included a PDF that shows you the number of items listed in each category. Now, the higher the ranking that Profit Bandit shows you, the faster the seller. So the faster the item will sell. Competing against Amazon. You got to be careful about this because you don't want to compete against Amazon. They're very tough to compete against. So make sure you do a little due diligence when you find a product. Find out who's selling it. A lot of times it's just going to be FBA people or merchant fulfilled, but other times it's going to be Amazon. It's very hard to sell against them. There are other FBA sellers. You're not the only one out there. So know the competition. And finally, hold strong, because you're going to buy a product sometime that you're going to see it's a 60% margin. And you're going to buy it, you're going to send it to Amazon, and you notice that someone else bought that product as well, and the price keeps coming down and down and down. So sometimes you just have to hold strong to your price, and then other times you need to know when to fold. And it's just things that you'll learn the longer you're selling on Amazon. Here's some of my rules. I like high-ranking items, typically top 5, 10%. I prefer a minimum of a $5 profit. But if it's a $5 profit, I'm looking to buy 15, 20 of those items. My absolute minimum profit margin is 35%, but I have a goal of 50 to 60%. I like a diversified portfolio of items. Like I mentioned before, I like to sell pretty much anything. I spend a maximum of 3 hours shopping per week and spend about a half an hour each day learning more about FBA. And when I say half an hour, I listen to podcasts, reading books, checking blogs out there. There's a lot of people talking about FBA. So I suggest you get out there and learn as much as you can. Now, utilize your rules. Once you decide on your rules, your first sourcing trip is going to be much easier. So if you decided that you're not going to buy anything unless it's a 40% profit margin and you want to make $12 per item, then don't buy anything other than that. Stick to those rules. It's going to be much easier. Try to batch. What I mean by that is pick 1, maybe 2 days where you're going to go out and source all your items. It makes doing this on a part-time basis a lot easier. So, and then pick 1 day or 1 night a week that you're going to ship all your products to Amazon. And then stay motivated. I would talk to other people about this, because the more you talk to other people, the more motivated you're going to be by it. Expectations. When you go out sourcing for the first time, expect to scan a lot. I typically scan over 100 items when I go out, and you'll eventually find winners. During your first trip, you may not find anything, and that's okay. Keep your head up. You'll find something, and you may be disappointed, and that's okay. Because you may find something that earns you a ton of money. And just the other day, I had been on a bad streak of scanning items, and I was walking through a Sears, and I found some shavers, some electric razors that were on sale for $60. Scanned them and saw that they're a high-selling item on Amazon, and each one I profited $60 on. So I made over $300 just by picking those up. Now, the best items to buy are profitable ones, obviously. You want to find profitable items that you can sell. Sometimes you're going to find $40 or $50 profit on an item. So you want to make sure if you find an item like that to pick up a few of them. One of the things that I like is refillable items. Items that you can purchase every week or month, and they sell out fast. There's a few items in the grocery section that I sell. I pick up every week and I sell, and they sell about 1 per day. Also, you want to find easy to find items. What I mean by that is you can go back and find those items at the same location every week. It just makes this business so much easier. And finally, I'm going to give you some resources here. First, this is my site, www.stuffparentslike.com. You can go there and sign up for my newsletter where I give a lot of free tips on Amazon FBA. I check out camelcamel.com. What this does is it gives you a history of the items being sold on Amazon and how much they've been selling for. Check out jessicalarue.com. She is a wealth of information, probably one of the best FBAers out there. I also check out Jordan Malik. He's a legend in the FBA world. And then I would check out the FBAtoolkit.com. Again, this is a place where it tells you how many items you can expect to sell depending on the sales rank. Well, I hope that helped. Now I'm going to get into, in my next lessons, some of the different strategies when it comes to sourcing.